You've been told not to cheat in the gym, but if you want to maximize and train full body coordination and striking, you just might want to. Hey guys, Dr. Alex the Punch Doctor here, and today I want to talk about lifting weights. Think about traditional weightlifting advice. You'll hear things about slower tempo, emphasizing perfect form, isolating muscles, and training to failure. That might be good for bodybuilding, but it doesn't transfer well to speed and power in the ring. The best combat athletes don't move like bodybuilders. They use momentum, rhythm, and full body integration in their movements to maximize speed and power. You can get a sense for what it feels like to use more momentum, rhythm, and full body integration by correctly cheating in the gym. Cheating can train the exact qualities that you want to apply to your punch mechanics: coordination, timing, fluidity, and explosiveness. In this video, I'm going to show you why strict form can potentially hold you back, what strategic cheating really looks like, how to do it safely, how to practice it in a few select movements, and how it all connects back to punching power and also more coordinated, integrated movement for everyday life. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to share a little secret tech around power generation and personal mastery that I haven't talked about on this channel before. It's a bit of martial wisdom that may be the missing piece, especially if you've been struggling to make this click or just want more performance out of your body. Big caveat. Let's be clear. I'm not saying that form doesn't matter, and I'm not advocating you to be sloppy with giga-heavy weights you shouldn't be handling in the first place. Cheating with a heavy weight and poor form is a recipe for injury. There's a big difference between sloppy lifting and using strategic cheating as a way to train rhythm, timing, and full body integration to unlock more explosive movement patterns. This is something I'd like you to practice as a technique, not something you're resorting to. So use weight you can already lift with good form, maybe starting with like 60% of your 1 rep max. If you're already on a strength program and working with strict form, that's fine. I'm not telling you to stop. Also, if you're a beginner to weightlifting, I recommend you get a solid foundation of strength and are able to lift weight with control and good form before you try any of this. If you're a beginner, you want to use good form to get a good brain-body connection with your muscles. However, if you're willing to bend the rules a little bit so you can move more like a weapon, punch harder, and generate more force with your entire body, then I'm going to give you some things to think about. Okay, let's get into it. When you lift with strict, linear, isolating mechanics, you're training muscles to fire all at once for the most part. Plus, training to failure with slow, grindy reps is the exact opposite of what you want in a punch. Real punching power isn't about hard, grinding, strict reps while bracing. It's about chaining. One part of the body loads, and the next part transfers that force, and so on, until you reach maximum fist velocity, and then transfer your energy and weight into and through your target. It's not all at once like an isolated lift. It's not even almost all at once like a squat or a deadlift. It's a sequence, a ripple, a cascade of acceleration. And that timing or cascade is where the power multiplies. You don't get that from isolating muscles. You don't get it from locking everything down and firing at once. You get it by learning to let the force travel through you. Further, if your lifts are robotic and segmented, you're training your body to disconnect force instead of transfer it. That's why most traditional strength programs don't build natural power, because they train your body to be a statue when it needs to be a slingshot. It's also why the natural punchers I feature on my channel don't look like bodybuilders. They have looser, more relaxed muscles, and they aren't muscling their shots. Their power punches look effortless. So if you want to punch like that, you have to get a feel for using your entire body. And a simple way to get a feel for integrating your body more is to throw a little rhythm and momentum into your lifting routine. The first thing strategic cheating does is train the stretch shortening cycle not only in the target muscle, but in context with other muscles in the chain and other muscles in the body. The second thing strategic cheating does is build neuromuscular timing. Cheating teaches you to sequence force, to get one part of your body moving while the next part is still loading. That's what punching is. That's what throwing, swinging, or even sprinting is. That's what real power looks like. It's not all at once. It's a sequence of events. If you've watched some of the fighter breakdowns on my channel, you'll notice the smooth flowing chain of events in the fighter's body from his legs, through his body, and then into and through his target. That's rhythm. That's coordination. And you can get a feel for that in a similar manner if you're willing to loosen up your form a little bit to strategically integrate directly or indirectly connected kinetic chains. Let's look at a few ways you can incorporate strategic cheating into your gym workouts to get a better feel for sequencing, rhythm, coordination, and integrated movement. The timing of these is not going to be exactly the same as throwing a punch, so it's not like 100% transferable. However, it may help you shift your thinking about punch mechanics and get a feel for using your entire body. So just to repeat myself, this is an exercise. You should be doing this with weight you can handle well with strict form. Something like 60% of your 1 rep max. This is not for weights that you can't handle by themselves, okay? No cheating with giga heavy weights. That's how you end up getting injured. This is for weight that you can control, turning a weight training exercise into a rhythm, momentum, and timing exercise. Now, the first thing you can do it with is probably the most common, right? It's a bicep curl. So you can do it, of course, a couple different ways. You might be in the gym, they're telling you, don't cheat. You want to do everything really strict, right? Really nice and tight bracing. Now, there's an easy way you can put a little momentum, a little timing into it and utilize the stretch shortening cycle. It's going to involve side bending and hip rotation of the side that you're actually targeting. So what you're going to do, you're going to bend to the side, lead with the hip. Bend to the side, lead with the hip. When you bend to the side, it creates a bit of a stretch, in the bicep. And when you turn your hips forward, it creates even more stretch. So bend to the side, twist the hip. And you can get the timing, you can get the momentum, and a feel for what that feels like. And it's actually quite similar to the mechanics of an uppercut. Now, the timing is going to be a little bit different naturally because in an uppercut, you're wanting to reach peak power and velocity at impact, and you're going to have to generate the most power with weights at the bottom of the movement. So the timing is not the same. However, the principles, you may find them transfer over just by getting a feel for it. Now, another exercise you can do this with is a barbell row. You're going to want to keep your core nice and tight, but you can add a little bit of hip extension to it to lift your torso before the weight. Just to put a little bit of extra momentum into it. I'll do it from the side too. So just a little bit of backwards momentum. Another exercise is a push press. You can dip down and then push up with your legs and let the weight elevate with your arms. Now, be careful for your chin. You don't want to hit your chin, but you get this little rhythm down. And a push press can be a very, very good thing to introduce a little bit of momentum to as well. Another exercise is the barbell punch. So you can do it just kind of slow, right? Normal, or put a little bit of a bounce into it. Let the weight push you down and then explode forward. Again, it's not the same exact timing that you're going to use for a straight punch. However, it can get you an idea of what it feels like to use your entire body. You don't need to put a ton of weight onto it because it doesn't directly translate. You can. However, just getting the feel for it with the barbell is mostly enough, in my opinion. And you can also use this same type of momentum energy in a medicine ball throw. I have a whole video for that on my channel. I'll put it in the video right now so you can see what it looks like. You can turn it into a plyometric exercise. Let the weight or the ball push you back to your back leg, and then use that stretch to initiate the explosion and the push-off. Another exercise is the kettlebell swing. You're going to get a nice stretch in your posterior chain, and you're going to be able to really explode with hip drive to power the entire swing. So you get a weight, and you want to use the hip hinge, right? Keep your core nice and neutral. Let the weight come down, stretch your posterior chain, and then explode back up. Now, lastly, you can apply this type of technique to a pull-up. Now, pull-up is a little more challenging than some of these weights. You can actually decide how much to use because you have less control over your immediate body mass. However, before you do this, you should be able to do some strict reps of a pull-up easily, right? Like at least 5 to 10. If you can do that, you can add a little bit of a kip to it. It's not a replacement for a foundational level of strength. It's a complementary and supplementary exercise that we're doing to incorporate the full body. Now, in order to do a kip, you're gonna use your legs and swing a little bit. Swing the legs forward, then swing the legs back and create sort of a whip in the body to elevate yourself. So you wanna hang, and you can practice, controlling your legs, and then kick them forward, and then backing down. And it's gonna whip your body up. So these are some exercises you can add the momentum, rhythm, and timing technique and practice to. Really any sort of exercise where you're standing or hanging. You can't do it while seated for obvious reasons. You need to have your whole body able to move. However, you can take these principles and apply them to all sorts of different exercises, even cables and machines. Remember to use a weight that you can control well with strict reps, and you're not using something that's too heavy to risk injury. So hopefully you try this out and really feel how to connect these chains of muscle, how to use timing to leverage the stretch shortening cycle, and how to accelerate your body the way a natural puncher does. That's all the kinetic power is. It's not built through isolation or rigid tense control. It's built through integration, through rhythm, timing, and through explosive coordinated movement. The truth is, most people are born with the ability to generate power, but over time it gets trained out of you. You hear stuff like don't cheat in the gym, or you get taught movement patterns that feel robotic, and your body stops doing what it was naturally built to do. So this isn't about cheating to get reps. These exercises are meant to peel away what's been in the way and remind you how your body wants to move, with speed, rhythm, and coordination. Hopefully this gives you a bit of a feeling of the principles I've been talking about so you can apply them to your punch mechanics. If you like this breakdown and you're serious about building real power and reaching your potential in the sport, I built an entire program around these principles. It's called the Power Punching Blueprint, and it's the only step-by-step system built on real biomechanics and how the body wants to move. The Power Punching Blueprint is an A to Z program that's meant to rebuild and retrain your movement patterns to help you generate maximum kinetic power through mastering full body integration. Even if you're not naturally explosive, this program will show you how to move like someone who is. Check it out today at howtopunchharder.com. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.